failure. If you remember, um, essentially the theories of failure will give you a relationship between the values of yield stress that we found out in tension test, okay, using the UTM, okay, universal testing machine. So we found out sigma y, and then for various components which are subjected to combined loading like axial, bending, and torsion, here we are going to find sigma 1, sigma 2, and tau max. Okay, is writing clear for you people on the screen?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Clarity is there. Right? If there is no clarity, you have to let me know. Okay, right? So if you take a cantilever beam, something of this sort, subjected to axial load, transverse load, and torsional load, we found out sigma 1, sigma 2, and tau max. Using UTM, we have found out yield stress, and also we have found out ultimate stress, right? For various materials. Now, how these two are connected? How yield stress of a material is connected to principal stresses is the next question. So, this connection between the principal stresses and yield and ultimate stress that we found out in universal testing machine is given by what are called as theories of failure. Okay, so the important theories of failure are maximum normal stress theory, that is maximum normal stress theory, that is called Rankine's theory. Second one is maximum shear stress theory. That is called Guess theory. Then we have got distortion energy theory. Distortion energy theory. That is called Henke and von Mises. Then we have got total maximum strain energy theory. Maximum strain energy theory. This is also called as the Saint-Venant's theory. Saint-Venant's theory. And we also need to study now the Morse theory of failure, and also modified Morse theory. Okay, these are the 6 theories of failure which are important. Out of this, we are expected to study this Morse theory, or it is also called Morse-Coulomb theory. Okay, Tarun. Okay, this Morse theory and Morse-Coulomb theory, they are one and the same. Okay, so maximum normal stress theory, also called Rankine's theory. Maximum shear stress theory, also called Guess theory. Distortion energy theory, that's called Henke and von Mises. Strain energy theory, called Saint-Venant's theory. Morse theory, and modified Morse failure theory. These are some of the theories of failure. These theories of failure will give us the relationship between the values of yield and ultimate stress as we find in universal testing machine to those of principal stresses that a particular component is subjected to. Okay, now you just take down, did you take down few lines last class about theories of failure? Did you take down anything?
Yes, we took down any mechanical change in shape and size or material properties of structure, machine or machine parts that renders in. Yes, sir.
And then later on, what is that? Please read out completely.
Any mechanical change in size, shape, or material properties of a structure.
Okay, that is theories. That is the failure, modes of failure, and all we took. No,
Yes.
Now we will go
Yes,
to theories of failure. Under theories of failure, okay, these theories, there are ultimate and yield stress values connected to principal stresses is given by theories of failure. Okay, and then these are some of the 6 theories of failures that are of importance. So just note down now. Note down the design of mechanical components. Please note down. Take the heading as theories of failure. Take the heading as theories of failure. Please note down the design of mechanical components. The design of mechanical components subjected to several types of loads, should be related to the experimentally determined properties of materials within brackets sigma y and sigma u, close the bracket, under similar conditions. Next line. The relationship between the strength of mechanical component, subjected to a complex state of stresses, within brackets axial load, comma transverse load, comma torque or torsional loads. Within brackets axial load, comma transverse load. So axial load will give us normal stress, transverse load will give us bending stress, torsional load will give us what type of stress?
shear
Stress, right? Okay, so complex state of stresses. So within brackets you have noted down, close the bracket, and the mechanical properties of simple tension test and mechanical properties of simple tension test. Mechanical properties of simple tension test. Within brackets, what are the mechanical properties that we get from simple tension test? Yeah, Siddharth. What are the mechanical properties that we get from simple tension test? Yeah, Siddharth.
So we get the maximum tension which our body can bear, tensile load.
What are the properties that you get from conducting simple tension test experiment? You have conducted in your empty lab, no? Simple tension test.
So,
What are the parameters that you get there? Note down within brackets, sigma y comma sigma u. Just now I said, be attentive, Siddharth.
so yes.
Simple tension test within brackets, sigma y comma sigma u, close the bracket, is obtained by theories of failure. Is obtained by theories of failure. Next line. Following are the theories of failure. Following are the theories of failure. Following are the theories of failure. Jitin Kumar, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Please read out the theories of failure that are there.
The design of mechanical components subjected
No,
to
man. Following are the theories of failure that you have noted down. I have
Okay.
written 6 theories of failure on board.
Yes, sir.
Just read out those 6 theories of failure.
Maximum normal stress theory.
Okay.
So I can't see the boards.
Can't see the board. You are watching it in mobile, is it?
No, sir, laptop, but I can't zoom it in. So
No, you cannot zoom. But is it clear or it's not clear then?
it's clear, but yeah, it's very small. Sir.
Most words are not clear, sir.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
In mobile, like we can zoom it in, sir, but
Yeah.
laptop we can't.
Oh, you cannot see Alap Mundiur. Can't you see whatever I have written on the board?
Some words are very unclear.
Oh, is it? Then you said it's very clear in the beginning. Okay, in that case. So nothing is clear. Alap Mundiur, try to read whatever that is there on the board. Just try. Let's see how much ineffective it is. Just read. Is it possible?
Sir, can you move a bit?
Yeah?
Can you move a bit to the left side?
Yeah.
Maximum normal stress theory. Maximum shear stress.
Okay.
Next word is not properly usable, sir.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
And
In that case, I will go to limits of use, or maybe I write here. Is this visible at least? Whatever I have written here,
yes,
is it visible?
it's better. It's better.
It's better only, but not clear.
No, sir.
Okay. Then in that case, we'll go for presentation. Have you noted down even and uneven materials last
Yes,
class?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, is that clear now for you? Is the PPT clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah. Then note down. The following are the theories of failure. Jitin Kumar, can you please read out now what it is?
Yes, sir.
Please read out.
Maximum normal stress theory,
Okay.
maximum shear stress theory,
Okay.
maximum distortion energy theory, Henke
Okay.
hypothesis,
Okay.
maximum speed energy theory, Saint Venant's theory,
Yeah.
maximum total strain energy theory, Higgs theory,
Yeah.
Moore's theory of fluid, modified
Okay.
Moore's theory of fluid.
Okay. Right. Please note down. Please note down, all of you. Please note down maximum normal stress theory, also called Rankine's theory, or it is also called maximum principal stress theory. Okay. Note down maximum normal stress theory or maximum principal stress theory. Maximum shear stress theory. Maximum distortion energy theory. Okay, this is also called maximum principal stress theory. Okay, then maximum shear stress theory, maximum distortion energy theory. It's also called Henke and von Mises theory. Maximum strain energy theory. It is called Saint Venant's theory, Moore's theory of failure, and modified Moore's theory of failure. Please note down. Finished, huh? Finished?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now, so with the help of these theories, right? So the data obtained in the simple tension test is used. So data obtained from simple tension test are, what are the data that we get? We get yield stress and we also get ultimate stress, correct? So we get yield stress and ultimate stress from simple tension test. So with the data that we obtain from simple tension test is used to determine the dimensions of the component, okay, due to complex loads. All right. So whatever may be the nature of stresses that are induced in the components, using the data that we obtain from simple tension tests such as yield stress and ultimate stress, okay, we can design a component irrespective of nature of loads and nature of stresses. Got the clarity now? So please note down, with the help of these theories, please note down, with the help of these theories, the data obtained in the simple tension test, within brackets you write sigma y comma sigma u again. Sigma y comma sigma u again, right? With the help of these theories, the data obtained in the simple tension test such as yield stress and ultimate stress can be used to determine the dimensions of the component irrespective of type of stresses that are induced in the component due to complex loads. Complex loads is nothing but a component which is subjected to combination of loads. That is, it can be subjected to axial load, it can be subjected to transverse load, or it can also be subjected to torsional load. When a component is subjected to such multiple loads, okay, the nature of stresses will be quite complex due to complex loading system, right? So this data that we obtained from simple tension test can be used to determine or design the component which is subjected to complex loads. Got the clarity? Got the clarity?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Did you finish with this?
The writing, sir. Last one.
Yeah. If you have any doubt, please let me know. Mundi, you raised the board one was clear, no? More clear with the green board
Yes, sir.
than this, correct?
Yes, sir.
Maybe this is too far, I suppose, if I bring it close.
It's clear now, sir.
1 second, I'll just. No, are you seeing the PPT or what? Now.
No, sir, the board is also clear.
That's what I just shifted. Oh, PPT was not shared with you. It was shared, no? It has gone automatically.
It was shared, sir. That's not.
Now it is not. Okay. Now is the board visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now it's better.
Let's see how it is. Now is the write-up clear there on the board? Is it clear now?
Yes,
Can you
sir.
see?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Then I have to take this closer. That's it, right? Yeah. Next, take down maximum normal stress theory. Take down maximum normal stress theory. Maximum normal stress theory. Okay, yeah, please look at the board now. Please look at the board, all of you. All right. So, when a component, okay, so according to this, the component would fail, okay. A component which is subjected to biaxial or triaxial stresses, that is, I have a part of the component, something like this. So, this is biaxial. And if I add shear stress to this, that's going to be triaxial stress system. This is sigma x and this is sigma y. Right. So the writing is clear now. Is it clear for you people?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Yeah. Right. So a component would fail. A component which is subjected to biaxial or triaxial stress system. Okay. Because that such component would fail if the principal stresses, one of the principal stresses, sigma 1, comma sigma 2 or tau max becomes equal to the yield stress of the material. Okay? According to Rankine's theory, a component would fail which is subjected to biaxial or triaxial stress system if one of the principal stresses becomes equal to yield stress of the material. Okay? Then the failure would occur. Such, if the failure occurs, that theory is called Rankine's theory. So suppose I take a component, maybe a cantilever beam, something like this, which is subjected to axial transverse and torsion, and we are going to get sigma 1, sigma 2 and tau max. Correct? Using what is the equation? Half of sigma plus or minus root sigma square plus 4 tau square. This is the equation that we use to find out sigma 1, sigma 2 and tau max. Okay, if the component which is subjected to biaxial or triaxial system would fail if one of the principal stresses becomes equal to yield stress of the material of the component. That is the component would fail if sigma 1 becomes equal to yield stress of the material. By taking factor of safety also into account, the component would fail if sigma 1 becomes equal to sigma y by FOS. That is, I take a C40 material, I take a factor of safety of 2, 324 divided by 2 becomes how much? 162. So if the principal stress that this component is subjected to becomes equal to 162 megapascal, then failure of the component would take place. This is according to maximum normal stress theory. Got the clarity now? Got the clarity? Yeah? Did you get the clarity?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Did you get the clarity?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Say suppose I have a cantilever beam which is subjected to combination of loads and we are going to get sigma 1 and sigma 2. How we get? Sigma will be axial load, that is, this is given by sigma axial is equal to load by area of cross section. When it is subjected to transverse load, sigma bending is given by m by z. When it is subjected to torsion, tau is given by 16t by pi d cube. Correct? Correct? So sigma plus sigma b will be sigma in the principal stress equation. Tau is going to be here in the equation of principal stress, right? And we are going to obtain the values of sigma 1, sigma 2 and tau max. If this sigma 1 becomes equal to yield stress divided by factor of safety of the component material, then the failure would take place. Are you there? Whatever that is shown here in red color is part of such cantilever beam which is subjected to combination of loads. Are you there with me? Are you there? Just note down these sketches, whatever that are there, and note down this sigma 1 is equal to sigma y by FOS, and then I'll give you the right time. Please note down. So sigma b is equal to m by z as obtained because of transverse load. Sigma axial or sigma direct as obtained because of axial load. Tau is equal to 16t by pi d cube because of torsion T. Okay, so using these three, we are going to get sigma 1, comma 2, tau max. Okay, when this one of the principal stresses becomes equal to yield stress of the material that is obtained in the simple tension test, then the failure of the component will take place. That's it. The component will fail when sigma 1 becomes equal to sigma y by FOS. Okay, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If you understand one, remaining becomes very easy. Just note down them in a more better way. a bit is more closer here. Just note down one below the other. So note down this equation, note down that equation. Yeah, note down. Rankine's theory states that Rankine's theory states that Rankine's theory states that Rankine's theory states that take within quotes, take within the quotes, the failure of the mechanical component, the failure of mechanical component, the failure of mechanical component subjected to subjected to biaxial or triaxial stresses, subjected to biaxial or triaxial stresses, subjected to biaxial or triaxial stresses, occur whenever one of the three principal stresses, 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 Vipin Singh,
Yes, sir.
what are the three principal stresses? Well, whenever one of the three principal stresses within brackets,
Yes. Bending stress, axial
Huh?
stress.
come again.
Bending stress, axial stress.
Hey, useless fellow. Principal stresses. Principal stresses. One of the three principal stresses. They are.
Yes.
What
Sigma
are
1,
they?
2.
Yeah.
Sigma 1, Sigma 2.
Yeah. And
Tau.
tau only or tau max?
Tau max. Sigma 1
Hey,
max.
what I say? Huh? If you don't involve, even copying also, you people cannot do properly. Huh? 30 divided by 220. One fellow has written 1.3. Some 20 people have copied from that and written 1.3. 30 divided by 220 is 1.3 for 25 people. Huh? This is what happens. So please involve, right? So the three principal stresses within bracket sigma 1, comma sigma 2, comma tau max. Close the bracket. Reaches the yield or ultimate strength of the material. Yield or ultimate strength of the material. Take it as yield strength of the material. Just take it as yield strength of the material. Or yield, or because when we use brittle material, it's going to be ultimate strength. So take it as yield or ultimate strength of the material. Yield or ultimate strength of the materials. Yield or ultimate strength of the material. Full stop. Full stop. Taking factor of safety into consideration. 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 The component would fail. The component would fail. The component would fail if sigma 1 is equal to sigma y by FOS. If sigma 1 is equal to sigma y by FOS. Sigma y by FOS. Sigma 1 is equal to sigma y by FOS. Next, take down maximum shear stress theory. Maximum shear stress theory, or it is also called what? Guest theory. Okay, did you finish writing down? Are you now looking at the board?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Right. So whenever
Yes.
a component is subjected to biaxial or triaxial stress system, if the maximum shear stress becomes equal to the shear stress obtained in the tension test, okay, then the component would fail. Okay, the component will fail which is subjected to biaxial or triaxial stress system when the maximum shear stress becomes equal to the yield shear stress as obtained in simple tension test. By taking FOS also into consideration, the component will fail if tau max becomes equal to tau y by factor of safety. Okay, and from the basics of MOM, we have learned that tau y is equal to half of sigma y. That is, shear stress is equal to half of normal stress. Do you remember that? Half of normal stress. So here in this case, tau y is equal to sigma y by 2. So therefore, this equation will become tau max is equal to, I can also write it as sigma y by 2 into factor of safety. Further modifying this equation, I can write sigma tau max is nothing but sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2, that is equal to sigma y by 2 into factor of safety. So 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So you can also get it as sigma 1 minus sigma 2 is equal to sigma y by factor of safety. You can use this equation also, or you can use this equation also. You can use any of the equations. Okay, so according to maximum shear stress theory, a component which is subjected to biaxial or triaxial stress system would fail if maximum shear stress induced becomes equal to shear stress as obtained in simple tension test. Could you get the clarity now? Did you get the clarity? Okay. We can use even this equation also. Right. So please note down. Guest theory states that. Guest theory states that. Guest theory states that. Guest theory states that the failure of a mechanical component. Guest theory states that the failure of mechanical component subjected to biaxial or triaxial stresses, occurs when the maximum shear stress at any point in the component becomes equal to the shear stress in the standard specimen equal to the shear stress in the standard specimen of the simple tension test Okay. Note down, tau max is equal to tau y by FOS. Since tau y is equal to sigma y by 2, tau max can be written as sigma y by 2 into factor of safety. Don't get confused with this. 2 into factor of safety. Finished, huh? Finished? Nihal Shetty, are you there? Prajwal V. Nimmala Wagmesh, are you there? These people.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I have a doubt regarding factor of safety selection, sir.
Yeah.
Like, Sir, you told in aircraft you have 1.1 to 1.5.
Yeah.
So, but what if we are selecting the factor of safety for aircraft brake, like aircraft landing gear brakes?
Even
You,
for all aircraft applications, FOS varies from 1.1 to 1.5. So there what they take care is, okay, they take care of the production of the components and material selection to that an extent that with 1.1 itself, it should work satisfactorily. And there is one more concept basically in the design called fail-safe design. So it is called fail-safe design. Say one of the components, even if it fails, the entire structure will not fail. Only that component will fail, but the entire structure keep working. So that is called basically fail-safe design, which is used in design of landing gears of an aircraft. Okay. So fail-safe. So there will be so many components. Even if one or two components fail in between, the total landing gear will not fail. It will be there. That's called fail-safe design. That is what is adopted in design of landing gear. Okay. I hope I answered your question, Siddharth.
yes, sir. Like actually, one more question was you told brakes, factor of safety is to be
Yeah,
selected.
that is what braking for aircraft applications. Okay, if it is automobile, a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler regular automobile, if you take, so there they may compromise a bit on production and then tolerances and so on. But whereas in aircraft application, they take care of production to such a high degree that there is no deviation. Even if they use 1.2 factor of safety, that will be more safer, okay, than what they produce for automobile applications. Okay, so the tolerance for components in cars and bikes will be slightly higher, whereas tolerance for aircraft components will be much closer. They have to produce components within an order of 2 to 3 microns. 1 micron is 1,000th of a millimeter, right? So they have to produce components they'll produce components within the tolerance of 2 to 3 microns. Got my point? So there, even if they use 1.1 also, that is more safer than using 1.8 in other applications, other than aircraft. Okay,
Understood, sir.
got the clarity?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I wanted someone, who is that, Nimmala Vagamesh not responding. Prayag Vasudevan, are you there? Prayag,
Yes, sir.
please read maximum shear stress theory.
Guess theory states that the failure of mechanical component subjected to
Yeah.
biaxial or triaxial stresses
Yeah.
occurs when the maximum shear stress at any point in the component
Yeah.
becomes equal to the shear stress in standard specimen of the simple tension test.
Fine. Then read the equation also. Others, please look into your books also. Yeah. Tau max.
Therefore, tau max is equal to tau I by FOS.
Yeah.
Tau I equal to half of sigma y. Therefore, tau max is equal to sigma y by 2 into FOS.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Right. Then I will take attendance. Okay. Are you getting the clarity? I'll just go to